Hello Year 3s, today we're going to start a new unit in English and we're going to be writing non-chronological reports. Now don't panic, I know this sounds a bit scary, but it's not as scary as it sounds. And today we're going to look at what a non-chronological report is. So non-chronological reports are a type of non-fiction text. Now which one of these two books do you think is fiction and which is non-fiction? So hopefully if you've been to the Zoom call today you should know the answer to this. So I want you to point to the non-fiction book. So one book is The Tiger Who Came to Tea and the other book is called Tigers. So point to the non-fiction book. Fantastic, hopefully you got that correct. So the book that's now outlined in green is called Tigers, and inside this book are lots of facts about tigers. So it's a non-fiction book. The Tiger Who Came to Tea is a story, so a fiction book that's been made up. Now the words non-chronological actually tell us what the report is going to be like. So non means not, chrono means time, and logical means ordered. So it's a report that is not time ordered. It doesn't need to be in order of when events happened. So non-chronological reports contain factual information about a subject, a person or event. So they could be about a subject such as the Egyptians, they could be about a famous footballer, they could be about an event like the gunpowder plot maybe. But everything inside the report must be factual. Non-chronological means that they don't need to be written in time order. They're written to provide information to the reader. So the person reading your report is going to be interested in the subject that you are writing about, and you're going to provide them with some facts. And they are organised into sections. So we'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, but they will have an opening paragraph, some main paragraphs with some subheadings, and a closing paragraph. And they will be written in formal language with technical vocabulary. So we're going to look at this last one today, and your task for your assignment today on Teams will be about this. So formal and informal language. This explains a little bit about what they are. So formal language, and I've got a nice picture of a top hat here, which you would wear at a formal occasion. It's used when giving factual information, speaking or writing to important people, or giving speeches. So maybe you're meeting the Queen, which is very important. So you would be talking in formal language. Perhaps you are doing an assembly like Mr. Harvey does. He'll be using formal language because he's almost doing a speech. Maybe you're writing a report like we're going to be doing. And you need to use factual information, so you need to use formal language. Informal language is used when you're writing or talking to friends or family. So maybe you're having a chat to your friends, you'll be talking informally. Maybe you write a postcard to your granny, that would be fairly informal because she's part of your family. So let's have a little look about what formal and informal language actually looks like. So here we've got two sentences. They're both about polar bears, and I want you to think about which is the formal sentence and which is the informal one. So the first one says polar bears are the kings of the frozen world and their bodies have adapted to help them survive such freezing conditions. And the second one says polar bears are really cool because they have awesome fur. Did you spot the formal and the informal? So there's our little top hat that goes with the first sentence. That's our formal sentence. And I've highlighted the technical language in the sentence that makes it formal. So the word adapted and survive, they are formal technical language, which means they are subject specific. We use them because they help us to explain more about our subject. So the word adapted means to change, but it's a more technical word. Our second sentence has the words cool and awesome in there, the type of words you probably chat to your friends about if you were maybe talking about polar bears, so they're really cool, but they're not the sort of language that we would use in a report where we need to use a formal language. One more example. This one's about castles. Again, which one is the formal sentence, which is the informal one? So many castles were built to defend the inhabitants against invaders is the first sentence. The second one says, I like learning about castles, they are epic. So, which is the formal, which is the informal? Let's wait and see where our... Yes, it goes with our first sentence again. And this sentence has lots of technical language in again. So many castles are built to defend, and then the inhabitants against invaders. So those words defend, inhabitants and invaders are our technical language. They are subject specific. They go with the subject of castles. Okay, you're going to defend your castle. Inhabitants are the people who live there. It's a more technical word, and invaders are people who are going to come and try and invade your castle. The second sentence, or it's two sentences, I like learning about castles. They are epic. So epic are a bit like our words on the last example, like awesome and cool. They're sort of words you use if you're chatting to your friends. We also don't write in the first person if we're writing reports. So we're not going to say, I like learning about castles, or I'm going to tell you something about castles. We won't use words like I, me, or my. We'll be talking in the third person. We'll talk a bit more about that another day. So for today, on your Teams assignment, we want you to complete the formal and informal language activity, which is on the school website. You can either print this or you can complete the work in your books and take a photo to send to us. Alternatively, we'll put the sheet onto Teams, and then hopefully you should be able to edit and save the sheet straight onto Teams. So that's a little introduction to non-chronological reports. We'll talk about them again more tomorrow, and have fun doing the activity.